Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you decided to stop by and hang out. And if you're returning to my channel, oh my goodness, thank you so very much. It means the world to me. You guys, it is so gloomy and cold here today. We're getting rain / frozen rain. It's just like, ugh, yuck. But you know what? I'm not going to let the gloominess stop me. I have to sit down and do my 9-month check-in because you guys, I'm running out of time. This is one thing. Drinking so much water. Alright, you guys, I'm going to be real with you. This is going to be a little off the cuff, a little bit of just what comes to mind. Oh, the doggy wants to see me. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. You want to lay on this blanket? Well, here, you can lay on the blanket. You're a sweet boy. You wanted to come visit me? Huh? Yeah. I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. Oh, you're my sweet boy. If I look a little off center, a little off kilter, that's because I am. The doggy just needs a little attention today. Oh, poor buddy. He knows he might not be the center of attention much longer. So yes, this is going to be totally off the cuff, just what comes to mind. I didn't do an Instagram ask me questions this time, or honestly, I didn't even make notes this time. I'm just going for it. So overall, I just want to start out by saying I feel insanely blessed to say I've had what I consider a really good pregnancy from the very beginning. I never had morning sickness. I thankfully have not had to deal with any major problems or difficulties. The only thing that was a little unique about my pregnancy is the fact that I have uterine fibroids, and one is relatively large, so they were keeping an eye on that. So I did have to have a whole bunch of extra ultrasounds, so that got a little pricey, but I'm not complaining at all. Thankfully, my fibroid hasn't grown and it hasn't caused preterm labor, so much to be thankful for. Pregnancy is definitely an up and down. I have honestly been really impressed with the fact that I feel like myself. I don't know why, I just thought I would feel like a whole different human being pregnant, but I have felt like myself. I have felt good, but it is a roller coaster in the fact that there are some days I still feel like Sprite and like I can move around and the belly and the extra weight doesn't stop me. And then there are days where I feel like a beached whale. I honestly feel very thankful that with my job it keeps me on my feet and moving a lot. So that is really nice. I actually feel like it has helped me in my pregnancy keeping active, because I will be real with you guys, I didn't have a good workout routine before this. And of course I went into pregnancy like I'm going to do all of this, you know, working out and this and that. And I know it was good intentions, but I didn't dive into anything crazy or new when it comes to fitness. I don't know what I'm doing. So the bigger I've gotten and the farther along, I was just like, you know what? I don't know if right now is the time to start up a real workout routine when I don't know what I'm doing. It is easier to pull muscles when you're pregnant. You're more like flexible and stretchy because of the hormones. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on staying active, and as long as I'm feeling good, that's probably a good sign. So by staying active, like I said, work keeps me busy and moving and getting up a lot. I do work at a desk some days I don't. So it's been nice having that outlet of going to work and knowing for the most days and for the most part I'm going to be active. When it was still nice out, I was going for walks, taking the doggy for walks, trying to walk in the neighborhood, but it is winter now at the end of my pregnancy, so walking outside is, one, I hate the cold, not going to do it. Two, I'm terrified of slipping. So I have been walking in my house. My house is very small. It's a lot of just small little loops around the living room and kitchen, but hey, at least I'm up, at least I'm moving. And definitely towards the end of pregnancy now, I've hit that nesting stage. So cleaning, I've been doing a lot of cleaning. And I also have dance parties with myself in my living room. Hey, at least it's fun and I enjoy it, and I just love music so much. I can go from feeling like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do it, get the music going, and then I'm like, okay, never mind. Definitely in this end part of pregnancy, I am feeling some things that I didn't feel before. I get a lot of pressure right next to my belly button because of how baby is laying. Her hip is right there, and I don't know what movement she is doing. I don't know if she's sticking her legs out or she's using her arms and pushing out with all of her might, but the right side of my belly will stick out so stinking far right next to my belly button. That will get my attention. Also, every once in a while she will kick me or punch me. Again, I don't know. I don't know what's doing it, but in like the lower left side of my belly, that really smarts. The movements are bigger, stronger, and I've read on my pregnancy app that the bigger the baby gets, the less fluid that is in your uterus around them, so those kicks and punches become a little uncomfortable. It hasn't been unbearable, but it gets your attention at times. This stage of pregnancy, pelvic pressure. That is a real thing. I definitely feel much more pelvic pressure than I had felt earlier on in pregnancy. I notice it the most if I've been sitting a lot, but mostly when I get it like very severely, it's after sleeping all night, you know, laying down for most of the night when I get up to go to the bathroom, or I get up in the morning. When I first get up, I'm like, ooh, okay, I feel that. I feel that weight. I feel that pressure. So definitely pelvic pressure has increased, but you know, I know it's doing something. It's helping the baby get where she needs to go and help things along. She is head down. I don't remember if in my last update if she was yet or not. Baby had been laying across my belly for the majority of my pregnancy, so I was getting nervous that she wasn't going to flip and go head down. If she didn't flip, then it would have been a guaranteed C-section. And you know, I really don't want to have a guaranteed C-section. I'm trying to take pregnancy and this whole thing day by day, moment by moment, and go with the flow, which is really funny because that is not who I usually am. I'm usually a massive control freak. Usually massive. Like little things will send me over the edge. But for some reason, really big things, I can just, you know, go with the flow and ride the waves, which just doesn't make sense. I noticed this about myself even when I was getting married. Again, usually a control freak, usually can get wound up about the littlest things. The day of my wedding, I was like, whatever happens, happens. It'll be great. Whatever. Like, I didn't stress about anything. Even a couple of my family members were like, I cannot believe how calm you are about everything. And I'm like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. You know, it'll all work out. And that's how I've been doing pregnancy. In the very beginning, the anxiety was very real. Like the first 2 weeks, like wake me up in the middle of the night, like, I'm gonna have to give birth. But the farther along I get, the more at ease I am. Am I looking forward to giving birth? No, not really. I'm sure once labor hits, the anxiety will come back to a degree. But for the most part, I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to go with the flow. I feel like there's so much info out there. There are so many things out there, especially with the internet and social media and YouTube. There's so much out there of like, oh, you need to do this, you need to have that, you need this, you know, plan. And finally, I was like watching all this stuff, reading all this stuff. I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to go with the flow. We will figure it out. We will take it one day at a time. And that's how I feel about labor. I had written up a birth plan because that's what everything online said I was supposed to do. And I asked the main nurse at the hospital I'm delivering at, like, do you recommend this? And she goes, honestly, not really. Being flexible is really important when it comes to labor. And I thought, you know what? I think you're right. I wrote it up because I felt the pressure of like I was supposed to, because that's what everything was telling me, and nothing wrong with it. If that's what you need to do to make you feel at ease, to make you feel like you're comfortable going into a situation, go for it. Like, do what's going to work for you. But for me, I felt like I was just like overanalyzing things, and then I just felt like, okay, the goal is get the baby out, get the baby here, make sure I'm healthy, make sure baby's healthy, and however that needs to happen, that's how it's going to happen. So I'm glad that the baby has flipped because I didn't want the guarantee of a C-section. But again, if it turns out I need a C-section, well then guess what? I need a C-section. And as long as baby gets out, baby is healthy, I am healthy, I don't care. Some other little symptoms I've definitely noticed in the last month is puffiness in my hands. I get it usually just in the morning when I first wake up. I'll notice it, And then when I'm like doing my walking around the house or my little dance party, I can get a little puffy. But I do see a coordination where if I did go out to eat the day before, I feel like I see the puffiness more the next day, because when you eat out, there's just more sodium. Ankles, every once in a while, have gotten a little puffy, but honestly, not terrible. I can still wear most of my normal shoes, so that's awesome. They're a little tighter than they used to be, but I can still get in there. I personally did not buy really any maternity clothes. I bought one maternity sweater. Since I'm speaking of shoes, it's making me think of clothes. I'm still wearing my normal clothes, just the ones that are stretchy, like I'm living in sweatpants and leggings and jeggings and comfy shorts. Like, I'm not going fancy today. You will see when I show the belly, I'm wearing pajama pants and just a tank top and a little sweater, because you know what? I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on maternity clothes that I'm going to wear for such a short period of time. I am really lucky, even though I said the weather sucks today. Here in the Midwest, our winter has been very mild compared to usual, so I haven't had to break down and buy a maternity coat. I'm just wearing my old coat and not buttoning it. So it's actually been really nice that the winter has not been nearly as bad as usual, but it also helps that I'm just warmer than usual. Pregnancy definitely has made me a warmer person. I used to always be cold. Another pregnancy symptom, definitely sleeping has not been the best. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but I've been sleeping on our love seat for like 5 months now. I could not sleep in our bed. It killed my hips and legs no matter what I did. I had so many pillows, just leg pain that kept me tossing and turning all night. Then the bigger I got, trying to toss and turn was just uncomfortable. It woke me up too much. So I think it's been 5 months. It's definitely been 4 solid months of me sleeping on our love seat. Downside, love seat is the 2-seater, so it's real short, so I can't kick my legs out all the way. But I will tell you what, if you are uncomfortable during pregnancy, try laying on your couch. See if it helps. Thankfully, we have a really thick, like cushy couch, so it helps so much because I feel like my hips can sink into it. I sleep on my left side every night, and it's so nice having the back of the couch because it gives me something I can kind of lean up against and pretend I'm sleeping on my back. I definitely miss sleeping on my back and sleeping on my stomach. That is something I am looking forward to being able to do again. So it is weird. My husband tucks me in every night on the couch, and then he goes off to the bedroom and I stay in the living room. It's sort of sad. I really miss sleeping with my family and sleeping with the dog. Every once in a while, though, he does hop up on the couch with me. It's crowded, but I feel oh so special. So definitely sleeping has been a struggle. I have had a little bit of insomnia, just where when I get up to go to the bathroom, sometimes it's really hard for me to go back to sleep, or I'll wake up really, really early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, and I'm like wide awake. And that was never me before this. Getting up earlier naturally, but I'm also staying up later than I should. I'm still a bit of a night owl. In the beginning of pregnancy, I was so tired I was going to bed early. The end of pregnancy, I am back to being a night owl, which I know isn't good because everyone tells you sleep now, sleep now. But I just stay up a little bit later than I should. Most nights it's nothing crazy, it's like midnight, but still when you're getting up at 7 and you're having kind of a toss and turn night and you're getting up to go to the bathroom, sometimes I get up and I'm like, dang, I should have went to bed earlier. I'm tired. Definitely have napped more at the end of pregnancy than I did in the beginning. I don't always have to take long naps, but sometimes a little nap just really helps you power through the day. But there have been days, I won't lie, where it's like I lay down for a little bit and the next thing I know, it's like 2.5 hours later, I'm like, whoa, and I'm not usually a napper. Honestly, the one thing that I'm really excited to say is that I've had really good energy at the end of pregnancy, and the nurse again at the hospital I'm delivering at told me, you'll probably have more energy, and that's part of the nesting process, so when you have that energy, use it. If you're tired, give your body a rest. So I've just been trying to do that. If I feel really tired or drained, I take it easy. If I've got the energy, I'm gonna tidy this up, organize that, declutter, do the whole thing. Speaking of, baby's nursery is all done. We did the final step last night of what I thought needed to be done. Before baby gets here, we set up the car seat in the car, so that really made it feel real. Even my husband looked at me, he's like, wow, this feels really real now. I'm like, I know. This final step makes it feel extremely, extremely, extremely real. And I have a little setup in our car because we drive a really small little car. It's adorable. I love it. I personally love small cars. My husband and I share a car, but it is small. And the dog is used to having full range of the back seat. So I got a little nervous that he would either try to crawl into the car seat or, you know, try to use car seat and baby to step up and look out the windows because he loves to look out the windows. So I actually bought him a doggy not car seat, but like doggy seat belt that attaches to the headrest and a little harness. And I put a little dog bed on his side, and I put a car cover, like a car seat cover on one side, like a pet cover, because he sheds so much. So I'm like, okay, maybe this will kind of contain the hair to his side. He's got his little doggy bed there, so he'll be cozy. He's got his seat belt, so baby has one side, he has the other. It's a whole setup, you guys. He's not totally loving it yet, but we've been practicing. He's getting used to wearing the seatbelt. We made our last big purchases for the baby. The main thing I was really struggling to pick was a bassinet. That was like the hardest decision for me. Everything else was fairly simple, you know, read a few reviews, ask some friends, see what they think. But the bassinet was the hardest thing for me. I was just struggling to figure out what exactly I wanted because I know I want baby to sleep in our room at night. I'm hoping maybe to do some naps in the nursery so she can get kind of used to the crib and to the room. But I really want her in the room with us at night because I just think it'll help me feel better knowing she's close by. And plus, I'm hoping it'll help me sleep better because I want to breastfeed and she'll be right there and I won't be running back and forth across the house all night long. And there's so many bassinets out there. Some of them are so expensive. Like, I hear so many amazing things about the Snoo, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm not spending $1,200 for a bassinet. I did just hear, I think they're starting to possibly rent them out, so that's something to keep in the back of my mind if our bassinet doesn't work out. But I was just like, $1,200. That's a lot of money. And then I was looking at the bassinet because that is actually what our hospital uses. So I feel like, well, if the hospital trusts the brand, that makes me feel good. But again, some of those are upwards of almost $400. And I'm like, that's a lot of money because they can only be in the bedside bassinet so long and then they outgrow it. So I was like going back and forth reading all these reviews, and I finally decided on the Bassinet Glide. So it is the cheapest model they have. It's $180 versus like $300 to $400. Now it doesn't swivel and it doesn't have any extra gadgets on it. Like there's no music or movement or anything like that. I feel like hopefully it'll work out. As far as the design of the bassinet itself, it looks exactly the same as their other models. It just doesn't have those extra features, and I have practiced sliding it out from the bed. It glides super easy. We have a carpeted bedroom, slides so nice and easy out from under the bed. And I can pull it up right next to the bed. This side still drops down for getting baby in and out easily, which I love. I'm hoping it works out. I felt good about the price. I feel good about the brand thus far, but again, we haven't used it yet. Every baby is different. You have no idea what they're gonna love or hate. We do have the sound machine already. We actually had one already from when we would travel for my husband's job. We would use it sometimes to keep the dog from hearing people coming in and out of their hotel rooms. So we already have a noisemaker. So I'm like, okay, I'll plug that in the background and hopefully we will be good to go and it won't be a big deal that it doesn't have the extra features on it. I did decide to go with the Owlet sock. The people I know in my life who have babies all highly recommended it. It was one of those things that I'm like, okay, well, if it does bring me comfort, it'll be great. If it does a bunch of false alarms, it won't be great. But I did pick it up because, again, I had so many people I know in my life tell me, oh my gosh, we loved it. We're so glad we had it. We did get our maternity pictures done, which is really exciting. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can check them out there. They turned out wonderful. We actually got so lucky that an ice storm, snowstorm hit the day before and it made the pictures just look incredible. So if you want to check those out, I'll have my Instagram down below for you. I'm so glad I did them. I know a lot of chunky gals like myself are on the fence about getting maternity pictures taken because they feel like they, you know, don't have the right body or they don't have the perfect pregnancy body or whatever it is. They get in their own head and are like, you know, I don't, basically to me it sounds like I don't deserve to have these pictures taken. I say you are wrong. if you want to have pictures taken, go for it. I am so glad I was able to. And also I just want to say, like, if budget is a concern, I get it, because photographers can be outrageously expensive. Ask around, find novice photographers. I use someone who just does it on the side for a hobby, and she did an amazing job. So there are ways to find more affordable photographers out there. Like, you don't have to break the bank, because again, having a baby is expensive, so you gotta, pick and choose where the money's going. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to find someone who was affordable, and that I made the decision to get the pictures taken because they turned out beautiful and I cherish them. I actually have one right up here, that one right there. Speaking of something we've decided to do that was not cheap, but we just decided last weekend, I waited to the very last moment, we have decided to do cord blood and tissue storage. Couldn't get those words out. So I was honestly, like, I had thought about this even years before ever having children, because I did have a family friend whose grandson had leukemia, and I knew that they were looking into using stem cells from a sibling to help treat him. So it's always kind of something that has been in the back of my mind, and you just hear like medical news once in a while and about how a lot of research is going to stem cells, and that stem cells can really help with a lot of different illnesses. But I will be real with you, we're really normal people, we're really an average household, and I thought for sure there's no way we will be able to afford doing something like that, because already all the stuff you need is so expensive to prepare for baby. And then when you find out what the bills are going to be like for labor and delivery, you're like, oh my god, and you almost have a heart attack in the office right there. At least that's what happened to me. So I honestly, I pushed it out of my mind. I thought there's just no way. And then about a week ago at one of my appointments, I was just like, do you have a pamphlet on it? I just want to look at it. Again, I'm thinking there's no way. I started looking at it, and then I went on their website and I saw that they actually were doing special pricing. The medical lab that stores the tissue was doing special pricing with COVID, and that they offered payment plans. And I was like, oh. Okay, I'm gonna call them. Again, I'm thinking there's no way. And it is expensive. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not expensive. It's still expensive. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. What I thought it would be was like, I seriously, in my head, I'm like, to store something like that, so high tech and fancy, and I thought it would be like, like tens of thousands of dollars to do something like this. So I'm so thankful I called. They gave us pricing. They told us about the specialty pricing they were offering because of COVID. And then they were also offering financial payment plans, monthly payment plans with the down payment. And I'm so thankful I called. It's one of those things that, you hope you never, ever, ever have to use. But it really brings me this sense of calm, knowing that we're going to do that. Again, it all depends on once they get the umbilical cord, and when it gets to the lab, if the tissue is viable. So we won't know until after baby's here, but I'm just very thankful I decided to make that call. My point is, if there's something you're curious about in your pregnancy or in your planning, make the call, ask the questions, don't just rule things out. Yeah, I'm really glad we are doing that. My mom passed away from cancer. We have Crohn's disease on both sides, and as I was reading the pamphlet, it was talking about these things, and I'm like, this could be an incredible resource down the road. So we are doing the 18 years storage, and then after 18 years you can actually add on lifetime storage, and they subtract what you've already paid. Like, it's a whole thing, and it's really interesting, and I really, in my heart of hearts, believe medical research is going to come so far over the next 10 to 20 years. So again, it's something that you hope you never have to use, but it could be really, really valuable to have this, and also maybe just who knows what the future of medicine is going to be, really. So yes, I wanted to share that with you guys, because like I said, I really almost didn't make the call, and I literally waited till 2 weeks before my due date to make the call. So I'm glad I decided to make the call. And okay, so if I would have called and it was like way out of our budget, then I just didn't have to do it. I feel like this video is going on very long and I'm a little bit rambly, but is there anything else crazy? I guess the main thing is just that I am getting really excited to meet little baby girl. There's definitely butterflies there on how big of a change this is going to be. Definitely that has been hitting me over the last week or so, because I am officially done with work now. I stopped work 2 weeks before my due date because the idea of possibly going into labor at work is like my nightmare. So I did stop early just in case. So definitely I've had more me time. I'm trying to film, get some stuff done beforehand. And it's not just because I want to keep my channel going and I want to be putting something out there. It's also because it's just been really nice to have some me time and dive back into my passion of doing this and of having fun with my makeup and playing with my hair. So honestly, I'm very thankful I've had this time to just kind of reconnect with myself before baby gets here, because it is going to be a major adjustment having a baby. Obviously, it is going to be a total 180 from the life we lived before. My husband and I, it's been just the two of us for, I think we've been together almost 11 years now. And the dog, it's going to be an adjustment for him. I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to be some of the best years of our life, but I also am realistic and I realize that parenting is hard. It's going to be difficult, especially in that first month. I think that's the thing I'm the most nervous for, is just getting that new routine down. Learning baby and having baby, become a part of our family and just finding that new normal, that new routine. That does make me nervous. I know we'll figure it out, but there's been butterflies. There's days it's hit me where I'm just like, wow, everything is about to change, get a little nervous stomach, feel a little tingy of a teary-eyedness. I haven't broke down, but you just feel it a little bit in the back of your eyeballs. So definitely a little bit of nerves there, but I'm getting so excited to meet her. I'm so excited to see what she looks like. We've only had one ultrasound where we could see the side of her face, so we really have no clue what to expect as to what she's going to look like. And not just that, we have a little bit of everything in our family. We have people with olive skin, fair skin. We have people with blonde hair, we have people with dark hair, we have people with straight hair, we have people with curly hair on both sides. We've got really tall people, really short people. So I have no idea what to expect or at all of how to imagine what this little girl is going to look like. I can't wait to see what she looks like. I'm hoping she has a full head of hair, but I was bald as a cue ball, so I don't know. I have no idea. She could have lots of hair or absolutely no hair and I wouldn't be surprised. At my last ultrasound, they do think baby is about 7 pounds 8 ounces, but my doctor did tell me that it is not an exact science and they can be off 20% high or low. I'm like, oh wow, okay, if you're off by 20% high, this could be a big baby. That, makes me a little nervous, but again, keeping the faith that everything will work out just fine. It'll all be good. As long as baby gets out and we're both healthy, that's all I care. She could be a little chunker or a little peanut. I mean, really, as long as everything just goes as it should, then that's all that matters. Now we are just playing the waiting game. It could be any moment. And that has been a weird feeling of I have no idea. My husband's like, I think you're going to be one of those people where you're not going to have any clue. It's just going to be bam, labor happens. I kind of think he might be right. I don't know why. I just have a feeling I'm not going to get many clues beforehand, that it's just going to be okay, it's go time. Grab that hospital bag. Oh, and I guess that's the final thing I want to bring up. I don't want to do a pre-hospital bag. I don't want to share my hospital bag with you guys because I have no idea what I'm actually going to use. Did I go crazy and overpack? Yes, I did. First time mom here. Hello. So I don't really want to dive into my hospital bag when I know absolutely nothing about, if it's going to come in handy or if I totally overdid it. I'll mention a few things I threw in there. I have a small little makeup bag with a CC cream and a powder and a brow gel and a mascara. Simple. That way if I want to put on makeup and it's going to help me feel better and feel more like myself, it's there. And if I don't want to, who cares? And it's also products I don't care a lot about, so that way if I forget them, I lose them, or I just decide, you know what, I don't want them. They got hospital germs on them now. It's not the end of the world if I don't bring it home with me. I did buy a black maternity gown that is like meant for delivering. Because I'm not sure if I want to wear the hospital gown or not. I've mentioned this before. I don't like hospitals. I mean, who likes hospitals? But with my mom being sick as a kid, I spent so much time in hospitals, and it just gives me the heebie-jeebies whenever I'm in a hospital. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like the way they look. But at the same time, I feel like it's the safest place to deliver. You know, everything's right there if anything does go wrong. So I did purchase that on Amazon. I'll try to find it and link it down below. So that way if I want to wear the gown, I can. If I don't want to wear the gown, I don't have to. And then I also bought a black nightgown that buttons down the front, something easy to wear for the couple days after so I can breastfeed and just be comfy cozy at the hospital. And then I packed a pair of black sweatpants, gray long sleeve shirt for the ride home. I packed hubby a pair of sleeping shorts, a pair of pajama pants, and I really didn't bring much for baby because it sounds like the hospital provides most things. I brought one outfit for coming home in. And also hats, mittens, things like that because it's February and it's going to be cold out. I would say toiletries, normal toiletries. I just threw our travel bag in there for like when we're on vacation. So I've got shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, the normal stuff. Then I did pack a full-size lotion. I did pack a diffuser. Some hospitals let you diffuse essential oils, some don't. My thought was even if I can't put oil in it, I can use it like a little humidifier because the air is so dry in the winter. I can't stand it. Your lips get dry, everything. I know it won't make a huge difference, but at least there'll be a little moisture in the air. I also filled it up with tons of snacks. So bear with me here. This is the crazy control freak part of me. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling or how I'm going to be handling being in labor. Maybe I will be like, hubby, please leave. Go to the cafeteria. Leave me be. Or maybe I'm not going to want him to go anywhere. I don't know. So I put snacks in there like he is going to be stuck with me for days and never leave that room. I'm being serious. I've got little cups of soup. I've got protein bars, protein drinks. Like, he has a little survival kit in there. Our bag might be more snacks than anything else. So that is the part where I'm like, yes, you can tell I'm a new mom and I am just overthinking the hospital bag a little bit. But hey, at least I'll have it. It'll be there just in case. And also with COVID, who knows, something could change 10 seconds after we get there if he can't leave or, you know, who knows? Who knows? The one complaint I have is before we got to go into the maternity ward right away. Now we have to check in through the emergency room, and I don't know why, but I'm really struggling with that and I don't like it. Maybe it's the whole mindset of it. Emergency room, usually only go there if you're like really sick or like something bad happened. I just don't like the vibe of that. I don't know why they are doing that. So we have to check in through the emergency room and then they will wheel me right up to maternity. I wish I could just go in through the maternity entrance. And also then there's part of me that's like, ooh, it's gonna be germy in the emergency room because it's the emergency room. But again, trying not to overthink it, trying not to oversweat it. That's their policy, so that is where I will be going into the hospital. And then the absolute final thing I just want to mention to you guys is, first of all, thank you so much for being along this journey with me. This 9 months has truly flown by. I can't believe it. I've gotten so many kind comments and messages, really heartfelt messages that seriously have just uplifted me in positivity. So thank you so much for those of you who have reached out and have just, you know, told me that it will come to me, that mother's instinct is real, because it really does. It warms my soul and it just lifts me up and it helps me feel more at ease with this major change that is coming. I don't know what exactly is going to go on with my channel. I've been pre-filming like crazy because I want to keep going with one video a week. I'm trying to set a goal that's realistic. I don't want to set a goal that I can't fulfill for myself and that I can't fulfill for you guys and I'm disappointing you guys. So I feel like so far with being pregnant, one video a week has worked out really well, so I want to keep with that, but there might be a gap in some uploads. Again, I don't know, you know, how everything's going to go once baby gets here and I'm going to be breastfeeding and all of that stuff, so I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on myself. My channel isn't going away. I hope you guys will stick around as I ride this wave and figure out our new normal here at our home and here on my channel. I am taking a few months off work. I'm thinking 4 to 5 months because we don't have family who can watch the baby for us, and I really don't want to do daycare. It just doesn't fit into our budget. It doesn't seem worth it. So I am taking a decent chunk of time off of work. Maybe that will help me, you know, keep with that 1 day a week schedule. But again, I don't know how things are going to go, but I feel like most of you are going to be so understanding about that. I know as a small YouTuber, it's risky to play the odds game with saying, you know, I don't have an exact plan and I don't have an exact upload schedule, because growing a channel is really hard on YouTube anyways, let alone when you're a little channel and then you take time off. So if you guys stick around, it means the world to me. I seriously appreciate it. And just thank you for being so kind and so loving and just being a part of this journey with me. And I really, really, really appreciate it. And that is all for this video, because I feel like I have talked for ages and ages. I'm sure I forgot something. I'm sure I missed something. There's so many things to think about. Oh, no, I almost forgot the belly. Okay, I'm at 38 weeks currently. This is what 38 weeks looks like. Bam. She's large and in charge. It truly is crazy to me that my belly can get this big. I think my timer is about done. The belly button is popped out. Big belly, big belly. Look at that. My goodness. I love it though. I like having this belly. Mr. Abel here is like, are you done? You gonna come pay attention to me? You gonna come play with me? All right, buddy, I'm done. Okay, guys, that really is everything for this video. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.